Let's do this to where it actually works, where it saves the company money, because I believe that healthy employees help grow businesses. Healthier employees are going to grow businesses. They're going to call in sick less. They're going to be more mentally engaged. Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mel DeWeest, and every week I bring you videos on employee benefits, wellness, personal development. And today I am focusing on wellness. Last week I did a video on why wellness plans fail. And today I'm bringing forward a 30-day challenge for CEOs, CFOs, HR managers, business leaders to bring forward and work on some wellness and figure out how to take wellness and bring it into a business that actually works. Let's do this to where it actually works, where it saves the company money, because I believe that healthy employees help grow businesses. Healthier employees are going to grow businesses. I myself am a product of a wellness program. Not that, it's my mommy and daddy, but when I was a youngin, fresh into my first big girl job, I had a wellness program that I championed. I've been doing this for 20 years. I've been talking about HR, employee benefits, wellness for like 20 years now. Okay. So I've been through it quite a few times. Today I'm going to bring forward a 30-day challenge for you, because most wellness plans fail. And I believe that healthy employees drive business growth. And if we can promote wellness within and health and wellness within a company culture, there's just so much ROI in that. And I have other videos where I get into that. And if you want to know more about healthy employees and ROI, please let me know. But I'm not going to sidetrack this video right out of the gate. Just right out of the gate, go off on a tangent about ROI and wellness. But it can be a wonderful ROI to spend money on how to get your employees healthier or help your employees pursue health and make it easier for them to be healthier. All of these can have tremendous results on your business, on productivity, retention, just fabulous. All right. So here's your 30-day plan. And why should you listen to me? Here are the 4 simple steps. So pick one leadership habit, test one low-cost wellness move, add one boundary or ritual, and then track what's changing or what changes. Okay. So you're like, what does that mean? What is this leadership habit? So one leadership habit that you could change is no after hours surprises. So stop sending urgent emails after 5 p.m. Unless it is absolutely urgent. You have $1 million deal that needs to go through tomorrow and there's a typo on slide number 4. We understand those things happen, but we also know what I'm talking about. You also know what I'm talking about. It's the leaders that chronically every email is urgent. Every email happens on a Sunday, Saturday, at 10 p.m. at night, and employees feel pressured to respond right away. In these kinds of cultures, employees that do respond right away tend to get rewarded. I'm assuming that if you're watching my video, you're open to change. We can always write them now and then send them later. We just do a delayed delivery. I do this all the time. I'm writing emails at 3 a.m. in the morning. I try to do delayed delivery and make it so it comes in their email inbox either about an hour before business hours or before I know that they do work. I want it to be the first thing they see in the morning. Write them now, schedule them later, and then test that for 30 days. Because in my last video, I talked about burnout and how burnout is up. It went up about 20% or 25% in the last 12 months. And one of the scary things about employee burnout is employees that report that they're burnt out are more likely to leave. Turnover is expensive. We're looking at HR burnout, because if you've got all this turnover, your poor HR person is now hiring and firing more, which is so stressful. Now, not only are your employees burnt out, now your HR is burnt out. It's a snowball. Friday wrap up. Every Friday at 3 p.m., 3 bullet points, what we finished, what's next, and what blocked any progress. No Monday morning surprises. What this does is it lets everybody review the week, and then Monday morning they understand where they left off on Friday, and you don't have to have any Monday morning surprises. You don't have people go, we didn't finish this thing, right? You have, oh yeah, we saw that Friday. We know we hit the ground running on Monday. Okay. Leadership habits, same day feedback. Notice something, say it. Just say it right away. Don't wait. Takes less than 2 minutes. I know it's hard. I know giving feedback can be scary, but don't wait for the next one-on-one. Just do it right away. If you don't know how to give feedback, that's a whole other topic. I'm not going to sidetrack us. Wellness move, walk and talk meetings. Turn one weekly meeting into a walking meeting, or I've also seen people do standing meetings or huddles, because it's been shown that if you're in a huddle and you're standing, meetings aren't drawn out. People are faster. They get to the point faster. So I think it's a little awkward to have a meeting. I mean, maybe if it's just you and one other person, you're walking around the block, you can have a meeting that way. I think this is probably makes more sense for people that are working remote. If you're on a Teams meeting and you're listening in and you're updating your staff or your colleagues on a project you're all working on, or you're thinking through strategically how to win a client over, and you're having those discussions, those are perfect walking meetings. It's the same kind of meetings that you would take while you're in the car, right? Everybody's been on a meeting, you put it in the cup holder and you're in the car on a Zoom call. Team stretch break at 2 p.m. every day. Stand and stretch, set reminders, optional, but you can do it every day. Make it optional, obviously, for your employees. Lunch away from the desk, eat away from your screen 3 times a week, invite others, no agenda required. Inexpensive wellness. So the third challenge is to create boundaries. So if we are going to make changes, if we're going to add meal prep and we're going to add a 20-minute meeting with a wellness coach once a week, and we're going to add meal prep, to me actually saves time. I believe people spend way too much time eating and spending too much time last minute trying to figure out what they're going to eat. That if people just decide ahead of time on what they're going to eat, it actually saves you so much time later. But in the beginning, if you've never done it, most people think it's so expensive, it takes too much time to meal prep. Meal prep in the long run ends up saving you time. But anyway, if you have a barrier to adding something to your calendar, like going to the gym, because I can't argue with that, that does take additional time. But I would argue that it saves you time at the end of your life, right? If you're taking care of yourself now, you get more time later, of course, unless there's an accident or something tragic happens. But the idea is you spend time now so you can live that extra 10 years, right? But the idea here with the boundary section is that because now we're adding something to our calendar, we have to say no to something later. Or just in general, building, and it also says, or add a new ritual. And the whole point in adding the new ritual is to prove to yourself that you can consistently do something and build positive momentum so that you're more likely to change more things later and build more positive momentum. A lot of times these positive changes start out small, and then once you prove to yourself you can do the small thing, now you can do a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, right? So boundary suggestion number 1 is a 20-minute shutdown ritual. The last 20 minutes of the day down tomorrow's top 3. Okay, what are the top 3 things that maybe you wanted to get done today but didn't quite get done? You write those 3 things down. Okay, the other one is to clear your desk and close as many loops as you can. 20 minutes before you leave, clear your desk, close the loops, and then allow yourself to mentally clock out. When I go through this, I say, all the urgent things are done. This can wait until tomorrow. And that's it. You stop thinking about it. Let it go, close out your brain on that item, on work, so that you can actually rest. Okay. I've had to really focus on this since I've been working from home, because my brain associated work as home and home as work. And it was like, it took a little while for me to establish those boundaries. No Slack after 7 p.m. So if people are just cracking out on Slack, then delete the app from the phone, turn off notifications, check on your laptop in the morning. Get it off your phone. I've had to do this before, where there's certain, I just got to get off my phone. And it doesn't have to be, and there's certain ways to hide apps in your phone or take them off your wallpaper on your phone and just make it so it's searchable. So you actually have to type in and search to find the app. I've done that with Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. All of the social media apps are something that I actually have to search on my phone, or even at times I've deleted them from my phone completely and then had to reinstall them later after I got out of the habit of checking it. Because what I've noticed with the phone is our brains get behaviorally, I don't want to use the word addicted, but I'm going to, just because I think it's easier to understand. Our brains have gotten behaviorally addicted to going through a certain number of steps or a specific sequence when we pick up our phone. So when I pick up my phone, I immediately, at one point in my life, when I would pick up my phone, the first thing I would check would be Instagram. This was 5 years ago, maybe even a little longer. And I went, oh my God, I just picked up my phone. I went in here to check this email or to call someone back. And now, like 5 minutes, I would notice, I'd be like, oh my God, where am I? I'm on Instagram scrolling. Like, what the hell is going on? And it's just because my thumb like got in the habit of like clicking that spot, and it's happened so fast that it's almost like my conscious brain doesn't register it. It's almost like my unconscious brain takes over. It feels like when you're driving and you're like, I'm going, like for me, after the gym, I'm going to go to the doctor after the gym. So, but I usually go straight home. And my brain's used to going straight home. And I get in the car and I go and I'm like, I'm going to the doctor. And I start driving. And then all of a sudden I pass the exit and I'm like, fuck, I was supposed to get off and go to the doctor. And now I'm like, I have to turn around, get off on this other exit. When your brain goes on autopilot, it's the same thing with the phone. So we almost have to like do a pattern interrupt and like just delete. Like if you find yourself all of a sudden on Facebook and you didn't intend on that, you got on your phone to make a phone call, you should probably delete the app, right? So delete the app from the phone, check on your laptop instead. I do this. I love this strategy. It's like, you know what? If I really want to go on Facebook, do it on my computer. Or if I really need to see something, I'll look it up on my computer. Because one of the things I believe is that iPhones or phones, Android doesn't really matter, but the smartphone is designed for consumption, not creation. And a laptop and a computer are designed for creation, not consumption. So a television, a smart TV, obviously is designed for consumption. So you just sit passively and do nothing and just let entertainment come to you, right? It's completely passive, 100% consumption. Where a computer, it's the same screens and everything, but there's a different purpose to it. It's a different type of tool. It's designed to create. So when we sit at our computers, we're more likely to be productive and create than consume, because the device we're using is created for creation, not consumption. And one of the things that I really try to track is what percentage of my time am I spending creating, and what percentage of time am I using to consume? And when those percentages, when I'm consuming more than I'm creating, I usually get pretty upset and pretty miserable. I start getting symptoms of depression and anxiety and all these things, all this negative self-talk. bad things happen to me when I'm not creating stuff. So that's one of the strategies that I use. And those are my thoughts about that. So boundary, next one is meeting free afternoon. Block out one afternoon per week. No internal meetings allowed. Use it for thinking, planning, and admin. I do this all the time. I love thinking and planning and figuring out how to do things better. Changes, energy level from 1 to 10. What felt lighter, felt easier? What drained me the most? And I know I've brought this up before, but I have all these binders. And what I do with these kinds of challenges is I'll literally put it on, I'll make it in Excel. I call it an inventory, actions inventory list. And I have a list of actions that I'm committed to on a regular basis. And I'll put in there how much time I spent on each and then how I felt about each one. So it's called qualitative and quantitative. So I've shown these binders a bunch of times, but I have these binders where I make inventory sheets of actions that I want to take on a regular basis. Is it monthly? Is it weekly? Is it daily? I set goals for myself for daily, weekly, and monthly. And some things you don't do every day, but some things you do once a week, and some things you do once a month. And so those are the places that I put those things depending on which inventory. And it's a simple way for me to track whether or not I did the thing that day and how much time I spent on it and how I felt about it on a scale of 1 to 10. So it's called a qualitative and a quantitative tracking, okay, in the most simple way ever. So track your changes weekly and check in. What felt lighter, what felt easier, what drained you the most. And in my worksheets, I always like to add, I have an area for notes and I'll write, oh my God, I felt terrible today. And this is what my, brain was telling me. I do all sorts of psychological complaining in my notebooks. Track changes, team polls, quick anonymous form every 2 weeks. How supported did you feel on a scale of 1 to 10 or 1 to 5? I like scales of 1 to 10. What would make this easier? And sending out a similar tracking questionnaire to your employees on a weekly basis can help you with this, especially if you're a manager. And track the changes before and after week 1. Rate your stress, energy, optimism on a scale of 1 to 10. Week 4, rate them again, and then write down what changed. And I love coming to the end of one of these cycles because you can see what actions bear fruit and which ones don't. And then you can decide, if this action did not bear fruit, do I think if I increased the amount of times I did this action or the amount of time I spent on this action, would that give me a result? Do I have to do 10 times more to get the result I want? And all those sorts of things. So you can come up with more hypotheses on what it would take to get you the result that you want. Okay. Pick one and start today. So that's my 30-day challenge. Hopefully you found it useful. If you have any questions, please let me know. I do have a link down below. You can reach out to me using that link. Right now I am offering a free assessment. So if you are an HR manager or decision maker within the company you work for or own, I am offering a free assessment of your employee benefits. So take advantage of that. If you want more information about this, you can also reach out to me via that link. I'm happy to discuss it with you. Please like the video, share the video, comment on the video, and that's it. Thank you for hanging out to the end. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.